The law of cause and effect. This is a law that defines the daily outcomes in our lives. Yet for the majority of us, we are oblivious to it. This is the law of cause and effect. Every action that you take compromises of this law. Everything you do has a direct effect on your life. Suppose you spend a good time of your life eating junk food, and someday you get sick. You go to the doctor, and you want him to heal you. Yet, your day-to-day consumption of eating junk food leads to your illness. Your actions lead to this state. The law of cause and effect is that your daily actions over time lead to your present-day condition. By improving your life on a daily level, you will see in the future your life improving. I'm not saying that all sickness is our fault, but I'm saying that we should be practical and do whatever we can to live a healthy life. Every action we take is accounted for. If we are unhappy, what actions have we taken to put ourselves into that situation? What can we do to bring ourselves around to happiness? Our actions dictate our state of awareness. If you are angry daily, I can guarantee that in the future you will be angry. Over time, whatever actions you have taken become your life. If you are resentful now and take the same steps of resentment, you will be resentful in the future. This is the cause of law and effect. If you are happy and share your happiness with others, I can guarantee you that other people will enjoy your company. If you are constantly pissed off, I can guarantee that people won't want to be in your company. Every single action has an effect on the entire universe. If your life is in chaos, you will enhance the chaos on this world. If your life is peaceful, you will enhance peace on earth. You are accountable for bringing peace to this planet. If you don't have peace, the planet won't have peace. You do have a piece of the puzzle. So realize that if your life is messed up, you can clean it up. You can start daily to make wise decisions in your life. You can totally change your life around. There is no blame. Hopefully we can start to give you your wisdom so you can see for yourself that where you are in life is based upon your previous actions. Now you can be aware and change your actions in areas that you know needs changing. This is applying the law of cause and effect. By really understanding this law, one becomes a co-creator and not of a reactive being. This law also applies to all nations around the world. We are accountable for our own actions. How we treat others will be reflected back to us. This is something I hope that we may all understand. Peace can never come through war. If we as a nation are peaceful, our neighbors will be peaceful. If we have an overabundance of wealth and food, we should help out our neighbors in need. If each nation truly helped those in need, our world would change. In order for the world to change, we must change. In order to change, we must understand the law of cause and effect. If we live our life in harmony with the universe, our world around us will reflect that. We will be happy. We will be content. We will not be greedy. We will smile and say hi to our neighbors. If we have a drinking problem, most likely the world around us will suffer from our drinking. We don't need to write down what kind of problems arise from our heavy use of drinking, but it sure doesn't celebrate life. It's a drowning of oneself. So we can change step by step. If you drink too much, join AA. Whenever your vice is, and you see that it's harming your life and others around you, then do something about it. By taking ownership of your problem, and by doing something about it, it will empower you. We are not here to judge, because each one of us has a myriad of ways to improve ourselves. We are constantly refining our actions. We are all in the same boat. As Christ said, those who have not sinned may cast the first stone. Each of us has missed the mark. That's what sin means. But we are striving for a bullseye. This is the goal of human life, to constantly grow in awareness and love. This process will go on forever. So you can change, and will change hopefully for the better, because you have free will. The Creator will not judge you, but you will. You are your own judge. You are in charge of your own destiny. If you're in the dumps, you can climb out or dig deeper. Help us on the way by learning these laws and seeing for yourself. Yep, been there and done that. You will change for the better. It's just one step after another, day by day. I hope this will motivate you, because you are in charge of your life. You can change. You brought yourself to where you are now, so make better decisions. Before you get hot-headed, think, is it really worth it to get angry? Will anything productive take place? Just take a couple of breaths and relax into the silence. You will see that it's not worth your time and energy. You can change. You simply need to learn a few tricks of the trade. These tricks will enhance your life. The more experience you get from your internal experience, you will stop trying to prove that you are right. You will stop trying to defend yourself. You will stop getting angry when others criticize you. You will be a delight to be around. This is the law of cause and effect, putting into use for your own benefit. By understanding this, you will no longer get hot-headed when someone is driving a car and drives too slowly. It's strange, so many times when I take a walk and I cross the street, drivers will try to outrun you so they can turn right. At times I would get mad. Nowadays I realize that the driver is not angry. They could care less, but why should I get angry because of what they did? Why should I hold on to this anger and cause damage to myself? So I simply bless them when this happens. I still feel the anger, but in a second, I just release it. Just let it go and smile within. We hold on to anger and judge things that have gone on since we were born. Hopefully, by understanding the law of cause and effect, we can forgive ourselves and others. Truly, laughter is the best medicine. Let's truly let go of the past and forgive all who have intentionally or unintentionally harmed us. By doing this, it will set us free. Again, awareness is the key. We have been so unaware of this law. We think that people's wealth is like a lottery ticket. I'm sorry to say that for most people who are millionaires, they worked hard for the money and paid attention to their lives. They were smart and invested at a young age. They went to college and learned. By performing their actions, they became millionaires. So what is our game plan? What actions can you take to improve your life? Start small and build up. See that everything you do gets reflected back to you. Some people are lazy and greedy and try to earn money by taking from others by means of being illegal. Some of these people end up in prison. Hopefully they will understand that their actions put them there. Now, I'm aware that not everything in life is fair. Why is someone who is dealing drugs living high off the hog while people are starving? I can't explain that, but what I do know is that we can help this world by changing ourselves. This is where I think all of us as a world can do. Be responsible for your own existence. Help out your fellow man. Someday you may need a helping hand. Practical actions. Pay attention to your thoughts. Remember, each thought is like your bank account. A negative thought takes away money from your bank account, while positive thought adds to it, just like in real life. Think before you speak any words. Does this uplift me, or is this the same old conditioning and junk that I've been conditioned to? Think before you act. Does this action bring in being? Does this action enhance my life, or does it bring me down? Go over your life and do an inventory. See where your habits have lead you to either a positive or a negative avenue. Look at your relationships, career, finances, family, friends, your free time. Look everywhere and see where you need to pull some internal weeds. Read books on how to be a co-creator instead of a reactive being. Read books, lists, and back a book. Educate yourself and attend classes and seminars on changing your life. Happiness is a state of mind. You can own the entire universe. You can do anything you want. You can rule the world. You can conquer the galaxy. You can be the richest man alive. You can have an army of millions. You can be a CEO of a large Fortune 500 company. You can master the stock market. You can become a famous movie star. You can be the most famous actor of all time. You could be the President of the United States. Yet, without true happiness, your life is empty. The wise man pursues inner happiness. This is the true gift of life. The law of being. The rays of light. In the great mystery schools of the past and present, the depths were taught about these rays. These rays of light exist in all of creation, in the seen and unseen worlds. These rays emanate like the sun's rays. Imagine a central sun where all of creation resides. These rays are direct emanations from the central sun. This story may be true or not, yet as one gets in contact with these rays, we are like the divine farmers cultivating our inner emotions. We all have experienced, each one of us, these rays in our daily life. Yet by being aware of them and paying more attention to each ray, over time, we start to embody the quality of each ray. Imagine how incredible the world could be if, as a human race, each and every one of us becomes aware of the full potential of these rays. This would, as we know, this world, as we know it, would be totally transformed. Your life would totally change. You would truly be happy. You would have nothing to prove. Just smile. Yet, we have never been taught how to get in contact with these rays and cultivate our inner garden with these divine qualities. Our society is so focused externally, we have lost touch of our true existence. In reality, we are these rays. is our true nature. Our essence is of light. We have simply forgotten. Clouds have covered our vision. We need to daily soak up these rays, just like we need to bathe in sunshine. Doesn't it feel so good to your body on a winter's day to lie in the sun and feel the warmth? It brings joy to the body and mind. Well, how about going to the source of these rays on a daily basis and soak up these divine rays? Over time, it will transform you. Through the law of silence, one can enter into a vast field of existence where these divine rays lie. They are everywhere, but through meditation and contemplation, one's mind becomes like a radio and it can tune in to these incredible channels. It's like taking a shower, but instead of water each day, each ray has a divine quality to it. So imagine, in a little bit, we will talk about the ray of patience. How would you like to bathe in patience? How would you like to swim in patience? By immersing yourself in these rays over time, you become those rays, and in fact, that is your true nature. A sun worshiper lies on top of their blanket, soaking up the precious rays of the sun. The wise man goes inside and soaks up the eternal rays of the central sun hidden inside. Inside this place lies the key of wonder. Your true nature resides inside. Open up your door within and soak these precious rays. Your life will change for the better. The Ray of Patience, dictionary.com. 1. The quality of being patient as the bearing of provocation, annoyance, misfortune, or pain, without complaint, loss of temper, irritation, or the like. An ability or a willingness to suppress restlessness or annoyance when confronted with delay. To have patience with a slow learner. Quiet, steady, perseverance, even-tempered care, diligence to work with patience. The universe is extremely patient. Can you imagine how long it took for life to appear on our planet? It took probably millions of years just to have a single-cell organism. It probably took another million years to evolve from that. The human race is the new kids on the block. Our world has been around for millions of years, while our existence is a blink in the eye. Yet life is patient, is not in a hurry to get anywhere. It doesn't honk its horn if a driver doesn't see the green light. It doesn't hurry to get to its destination and then hurry to eat lunch and hurry to finish work and then hurry home. Patience is everywhere, yet we all lost touch with it. We all know we need to have patience, yet our society really doesn't allow us to foster it. I remember living in Hawaii, and the locals were always amused with the surfers coming from the mainland. They were always on the go. They couldn't quite slow down their minds and really appreciate the sunset. Surfing was more like an object to conquer than an art form. Some surfers from the mainland over time began to see how fast-paced they were and learned how to adapt and slow down. By slowing down, you can see the forest from the trees. they began to learn patience. They say patience is a virtue. That might sound like a cliche, but it really is. Bathing in silence daily, one becomes over time more patient and more understanding of others and yourself. Over time, I realized that the small steps you take in life, that matters. By taking small baby steps day in and day out, this is where your true growth takes place. I remember when I first started meditating, I was always looking and desiring to have a grand experience. I was missing the boat. Life is a grand experience, day by day, minute by minute. Each day we pay attention and meditate. We are growing, yet we aren't aware of it. Over time, the sound of silence becomes our true nature. We don't have to strive towards it, but in the process of taking baby steps, we become it. I had a friend once who said he quit meditating because his mind was so strong. He had been practicing about a year. Well, guess what? That's the process. The mind is strong, but by taking baby steps, day in and day out, and cultivating patience, you will eventually become still. Yet this process will go on for eternity. Life is ever going and changing and evolving. In my eyes, we'll always develop more and more patience. This is truly the keys to life. Many people give up just right before the creation will manifest. The reason why they lost patience and think, but it's taking so long. Yet everything in life has a process in order to manifest. We learned about this in the law of creation. Your life will go far if you develop more patience in your life. You and others around you will like to be around you. Have you noticed how impatient you are waiting in lines? Yesterday, when I went to the grocery store, I noticed my body and mind was agitated. I saw that I was very impatient. The mind wanted to pay for my groceries and get out the door. Yet this is the perfect time to practice patience. We need to train ourselves and develop patience in each and every moment. Try to pay attention to areas where you are impatient, whether it's with your family, friends, work environment, driving to and from work. Notice areas where you become agitated. These are the key areas to look upon and contemplate. We must ask ourselves why we become agitated. Is it really worth it? What do we get from it except for negativity? Does it really serve us? In the long-term version of your life, does it really matter? Who really cares if you left your socks on the floor and your wife had to pick them up? Yes, put your socks away, yet this life is so incredible. We need to pay attention to each and every moment. Throw your impatience out the door. Practice slowing down in your life, and you will see a remarkable difference. When you are racing down the freeway, where is your attention? Do you feel the incredible power of life itself, or are you defending your position on the road? Road rage is the attitude of lack of patience. Road rage is a state of mind. We need to look at what brings up rage inside and calm down this monster. It's not who we truly are. One lesson I'm learning is don't take things personally, especially when driving down the road. It's my theory that our driving habits directly reflect our state of mind. The faster we go and the more we change lanes, it demonstrates our minds is agitated and not satisfied at the least. Have you ever taken a Sunday drive through a country road and just cruised slowly and soaked in the incredible feeling of nature? Everything is so serene and real. Time slows down, and you can drink in that moment. It's a feeling that is beyond words. You feel that you're on top of the world and you're in harmony with your surroundings. You're just at the right speed where you can respond to anything coming onto the road. This state of being is our natural state. It's not just for a Sunday drive. Every moment of our day should be a Sunday drive. That feeling that you captured should be there all the time. The law of patience will help you capture this feeling where in each and every moment you experience the preciousness of life. This feeling of gratitude expands more and more each day. So, these aren't just some Sunday school principles. We are probably taught that as a kid, but as society as a whole has not practiced them. Human beings in general are impatient beings. Look at our technology. In the past, we were happy to send a letter and get back a response in a week. Then the telegraph was created. We had to go to a Western Union and then send a telegram, and it got to its destination within seconds. The person on the other side had to go and pick it up. Today we have instant communications via the phone, emails, and the internet. Yet we are still impatient, and maybe more so. In the past, at least, our lifestyle was more slowed down. Today, we are talking on the phone while driving our car and drinking coffee. We have lost our true state of being. Our awareness is so focused externally. So by being more patient, we start to open the doors of perception inside. We see that truly life is a miracle. In the midst of all creation, our existence is a flicker in time. Yet we think we're the most important beings, which we all are. And yet our focus is external, and we have lost sight of the beauty in all life. By being impatient, we rob ourselves of our true existence. We place blinders over our eyes and say, "Oh, I know that exists in front of me. I accept the commercials and media hype of today." It takes a tremendous amount of willpower and conviction to make effort to be patient in all areas of our life. So I hope you recognize what a golden opportunity you have to change and develop patience in your life. I had to learn this when I was a kid. My brother could pick anything up and just do it. It always took me time to learn things. I learned that by having patience and putting in time, I could learn. To be honest, I feel so grateful that it developed this quality. It has helped me to become a better human being and also to learn things that are difficult in life. Life is so patient with us. It is the source that is keeping us alive. Yet, we go from one thing to another while the answer lies inside. In the meantime, life is enjoying the ride. We are impatient when someone cuts us off on the freeway of life. We curse and mutter. Life is enjoying the ride. While we are working, our kids yearn for our attention. Can't you see I got work that has to get done? The wise person understands his impatience and begins to learn how to live like that. Life is willing to show us the way. We can practice daily and improve in every way. The ray of compassion. Now, a deep awareness of and sympathy for another's suffering. The human quality of understanding the suffering of others and wanting to do something about it. All the major religions talk about how important compassion is in our daily lives. All the great leaders have talked about compassion. Compassion is a quality that can be cultivated daily. Our quality of life will be greatly enhanced, and the world around us would be if we embrace this ray. We are in some way or another suffer every day. Some people's sufferings are quite pronounced, such as acute illness like cancer. Some people are tormented by the mind they escape through drugs and alcohol. Each of us suffer in some way in our daily lives. Unfortunately, there are third world countries that don't even have the means to have proper water, food, and shelter. The average American would be horrified to live and see these conditions. In our country, there are people who have everything money can buy, yet their life is truly a sad story. Money can't buy you happiness. By acquiring all the latest toys won't alleviate suffering. Many times it will actually increase it. I'm not saying that money can't buy happiness and that it's evil, but I'm saying that unless we look at our lives on a daily basis and water our inner thoughts, we will put ourselves into areas which will be conducive to suffering. Throughout time, the world has seen many incredible human beings who had incredible awareness within themselves and of the human condition. They realize that every one of us suffers in some way, every single day of our lives. They realized this, and they discovered that there is a way for every human being on this planet to overcome suffering and become enlightened. These beings dedicated their entire life for helping humanity. They pledged to spread their entire existence to help every sentient being to return home and to help them overcome their suffering. Buddha was one of the first on this planet who became enlightened, and since then many others have become enlightened and helped others on this journey of life. It's up to each one of us to become better human beings and to develop compassion in our daily lives. Every one of us is so precious, and yet at times we don't truly see it. The ray of compassion can be brought out into our every single moment of our life. We can begin to radiate this just like the sun. Why does everyone love the Dalai Lama? He is such a bundle of joy and compassion. He has nothing to hide. He sees the suffering in this world, and in each and every moment his actions are dictated by the act of compassion. He truly wants to help the world. Mother Teresa is another incredible example. She dedicated her entire life to help those in need in Calcutta, India. We all live our own lives, and we aren't the Dalai Lama or Mother Teresa, but we can display compassion daily in our lives. We can take a look when our children are going through rough times and give them a hug or encouragement. If our wife or husband is having difficulty going through something, we can support them with love. The more we pay attention and see what is going around us, and we see that each and every moment, it is a divine opportunity to cultivate compassion. Instead of putting gasoline on the fire, we can put precious raindrops on any situation. We can help reduce the suffering in people's lives. Many people think these are weak qualities, but true compassion is worth all the gold on earth. It's absolutely sacred and valuable. True strength comes from compassion. Anybody can get angry or pissed off. It takes a person of inner strength to overcome these negativities in their daily lives and to cultivate compassion. Imagine that everyone you meet is suffering in some major or minor way. even someone who has meditated for over 30 years. We can reduce the sufferings, but until a being fully enlightens, sufferings will be there. I experienced this myself, even in deep meditation. There's always a grain of suffering there. Our goal is to develop these divine qualities to such an extent we can truly become better human beings, and the world around us will change. Isn't it amazing that God, if you believe in God, or some other divine essence, doesn't dictate to us how to live? In order to have peace on earth, we must bring it. Nobody is going to save us. We can get help and inspiration, but it's up to each one of us individually to become better human beings. This is the way peace will happen on this planet. So I pray that each one of us will become aware of the suffering of others in each and every moment and want to do something about it. It can be something as simple as a smile. We don't have to save the world or renounce the world, and each of us in our own way can be more considerate of others and help someone who is suffering. We just have to become more aware. Many people don't wish to see suffering or talk about it. Many people put their backs into the sand and say, I don't see it. My life is going well. Until a person becomes enlightened, suffering will be knocking on your door. We can all help each other out and see that we are all on the same boat of existence. Life is an incredible journey, and we are all sailing back home. Let's rejoice and help out our fellow man on this journey. Let's help elevate the sufferings, alleviate the sufferings in the third world countries. I'd love to see that Bill Gates just dedicated $365 million to help out farmers in Africa. So it's up to each and every one of us. Just a smile will do to help out tremendously to help others on the way. Dive into the infinite ocean of compassion and discover your true nature. Surfers ride the waves of the ocean, while a wise man rides the wave of compassion. Your entire existence is waiting for you to have this self-discovery. Compassion is your true nature. It takes time to learn how to surf, and it takes time to learn how to ride the waves of compassion. The more you surf, the better you will get. The world will rejoice when you do so. The ray of good-natured. Webster's Revised Unabridged Dictionary. Good-natured. Possessing desirable qualities adapted to answer the end design, promoting success, welfare, or happiness. Serviceable, useful, fit, excellent, admirable, commendable, not bad, corrupt, evil, noxious, offensive, or troublesome. Everyone loves to be around someone who is good-natured. It's like basking in the sun and soaking up the rays. We all love to be around this person. Look at the Dalai Lama. Even if someone has no idea of what he preaches, when they see him in person, they are as happy to be in his presence. I haven't met anyone who doesn't feel this way. They may not understand Buddhism, but everyone knows a person who is good-natured. We don't have to ask ourselves. We experience the warmth, just like being in the sun. These are incredible qualities: kind, benevolent, humane, merciful, gracious, polite, friendly, and well-disposed. Each one of us has these divine qualities to some extent. When we were young, we worked these qualities, yet over time, we slowly lost touch and we became more embittered in our daily life. Most of us prefer to become sour instead of sweet. Many of us talk constantly about the sour grapes life has given us. We all have hardships in life, but a good-natured person will make wine out of sour grapes. They know that everything must pass. Nothing will go on forever in terms of hardships. A good-natured person will be good-natured in all times, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Life is not always fair, and a good-natured person understands that. They have developed such a strong essence of character, they understand that nothing can take away their true character except for themselves. Nobody can steal your character. No matter what goes on outside, nobody can take it. A good-natured person understands this and sees that life is an incredible journey, and each and every moment is precious. They realize that one can truly go into deep and deeper levels inside and cultivate more of these qualities. It's like having a well that is an infinite. We can always improve, and it's a joy to develop these qualities. Everyone will love to be around you. In your workplace, people will love to work with you. They won't have to worry that you will gossip behind their backs or complain constantly about your problems. Even a good-natured person has problems. They can get laid off. They don't have any more privileges than you do. Yet a good-natured person probably gets the job done faster and is more efficient. They won't be looking at their watch every hour and counting down the minutes. And in fact, time flies literally. When you are in joy, time flies. So how do we acquire these qualities and become more good-natured? Fortunately, they have never left us. The clouds just simply cover them. It helps to daily enter the law of silence, meditation. Meditation brings us to a state where we once again connect ourselves to our true existence. We are good-natured. We have simply let life and its hardships to become more edgy in life. Slowly over time, we have forgotten our true nature. We are all good, every single one of us. Every one of us has made minor or serious mistakes in life. The goal is to overcome our mistakes and on a conscious level make decisions to improve the quality of life. Meditation brings these precious gifts back to the surface, and we once again see the joy in each and every moment. Granted, it takes time, but time is going on, whether you like it or not. Everything takes effort. So our essence is good nature. By meditating daily, we once again experience that joy, that gracious, polite, benevolent being that we are. And now is the time to express these qualities in our everyday life experience. This is where all begins. This is where transformation truly occurs. Meditation is not some drug that you take to drop out of society. Meditation helps you to get connected to your true nature and then take that experience and integrate it into your daily life. It is extremely practical. Many people think that if a person meditates, she is escaping life, but in reality, it's embracing life. You begin to discover that we are all born of the same qualities of life. There is a thread of love tying us all together. A good-natured person reflects these qualities and embraces them on a daily basis. When we connect to our true essence, how can we not be happy and good-natured? No wonder the world at large has lost these precious qualities because we have forgotten who we truly are. Life has dealt us a bunch of cards that we don't like. We don't like to commute every day and work in some office. We are constantly struggling, yet meditation brings one to the center of the hurricane, and we experience a tremendous calm in our daily life. We experience a fresh breeze that refreshes ourselves in the midst of the desert. So the combination of meditation, of being aware in your daily life of the actions and how you talk to others will help to remember your good nature. We can rediscover our true nature, just as we can improve our skills at any sport by practicing. We can practice our skills of life. Each and every moment we can bring out the best in us. We can let go of the garbage. We can be in a state where we have nothing to prove. We don't have to defend ourselves whether we are right and they are wrong. We can simply smile. A good-natured person does. A good-natured person is a good friend to have. It doesn't complain what's going on. He doesn't gossip behind your back. No matter what life punches, he sees it as a game. He enjoys the video game of life with all its challenges. He is on to a different level. A good-natured person smiles at trouble, for he has heaven in his pocket. We are all good, but have clouds covered within. Remove these clouds, and you will discover your true nature. The Ray of Tolerance, Dictionary.com. A fair, objective, and permissive attitude towards those whose opinions, practices, race, religion, nationality, etc. differ from one's own freedom from bigotry. A fair, objective, and permissive attitude towards opinions and practices that differ from oneself. Interest in and concern for ideas, opinions, practices, etc. foreign to one's own, a liberal, undogmatic viewpoint. From WorldNet, the ability to be fair and understanding to people whose ways, opinions, etc. are different from one's own. It's kind of funny, and yet sad, that we expect the whole world to become just like us. For Christians, we expect the world to embrace Christianity. For Muslims, we expect everyone to be a Muslim. The world truly needs to learn tolerance. How many wars have started because of religions where someone has a different set of views that you have? The Christians are suspicious of the Christians are suspicious of the Muslims, and the Muslims are suspicious of the Christians. Yet at the very fundamental essence, we believe in the same thing. We all believe in God. We fail to see how beautiful that all of us are created equal, and yet at the same time, we are custom designed. Not one of us is truly alike, yet there is a thread of love, of life and love, tying us all together. When one truly meditates and experiences this thread of love, one's attitude towards the world becomes to change. We begin to see the unity in all life. We rejoice in the diversity of life. We don't need everyone to look the same way and eat the same food. We truly begin to see how incredible each culture is and how it brings humanity to be so diverse and interesting. Instead of having homogenized milk, we're having so many different types of cheeses. Some are made of cow's milk, some are made of sheep's or goat's milk. There's probably hundreds of different types of cheeses. The same goes with us. Each one of us is different and unique. We must develop a tolerant attitude toward those whose opinion, practices, race, religions differs from one's own. Tolerance is a state of awareness. The more aware we become, the more tolerant we will become. We must let go of the savior complex that only our religion can save the world. It can save us, but all religions are divine and come from God. Not one is better than the other. It's time for humanity to see that. I personally believe that through meditation, one begins to see the unity of all life. We begin to rejoice in the diversity of life. We see life as it truly is wonderful and diverse. Each country is different and special. It has its own customs and beliefs. When I was young, I traveled around the world. I loved spending time in each country. I really loved finding out what their beliefs were, the food that they ate, and their religions. It gave me such appreciation of life. Personally, I think all young people should go abroad and visit different countries. It will bring a whole different perspective on life. So much of who we identify with is with our surroundings, and over time, we think this is the only way to behave or think. Yet, there's a whole world out there that is totally different from you and yet the same. We truly all want to be happy. We truly want to take proper care of our families. We all want food, health, and shelter for our loved ones. In reality, our true values and essence is the same. We just have a different way of expressing ourselves. When I was young, I loved to read different scriptures from different religions. I saw that they were all talking about the same thing in different ways. Each book is precious and divine. Each master or teacher had the same theme, yet a different way of presenting it. This is what makes life so precious. I don't want the whole world to become like me. I want the whole world to rediscover how precious they truly are. The religions, customs, ideas, and beliefs are precious. They should hold on to them and cherish them. We should honor the different points of view. We must honor and treasure diversity. The older I get, I see that this world is one global village, and I pray that we can hold on to our special culture that has been in existence for a long time. Hold on to your customs. At times I feel sad to see McDonald's around the world. I know it's a business, yet we truly need each culture to be different. Imagine going to India and only eating a McDonald's. You would miss out in the preciousness of such an incredible culture. You would in fact be more like visiting a foreign culture and not partaking in the fruit. I may be wrong, but I think at times we want everyone to be Americans. We want the American brand to exist everywhere. I truly don't. I love American music, while I love the different sounds of each and every country. I pray that each country and religion can remain distinct and honored by all. Not one country has a monopoly on life. So as a whole, our world would be better if we truly respected our different values, views, philosophies, and religions. Why do we truly need everyone to be just like us? What kind of insecurity complex do we have where the world needs to revolve around us and our country? It truly is egocentric. We are not the center of the universe, yet at times we truly believe so. So how can I develop more tolerance? Start to be more open towards those who are different from you. If you are a Christian, talk to a Muslim and develop a friendship. You will see the barriers break down. We are afraid in life of things that are different from us. We are afraid of different people, beliefs, and customs. I remember once I lived in Florida and our neighbors were Hasidic Jews. I was young, in my 20s. They had someone who was my age next door, and we became friends. Their whole existence was quite different from mine, but I truly enjoyed the diversity. I saw an entirely different culture literally right in my backyard. I loved it. I didn't have to go to Israel to experience this culture. This culture came to me. Since then, I've studied the Kabbalah and really appreciate the gifts that have come from the Jewish people. I've cultivated many Jewish friends since then. If each and every one of us would truly become more tolerant of others, we can change this world. We can change the world around us. Try to learn more about the different ways people express themselves and see that each way is divine. Meditate and experience the oneness of all life. Let go of your thinking that only my way is right. It is for you, but not your neighbor. Start to appreciate the diversity of all life. Over time, you will see that you will become more tolerant. Each one of us can develop this precious ray on a daily level. We need to look within to change our beliefs. Maybe we were taught a lot of garbage about other cultures and different religions than ours. Yet we can throw away this garbage and burn it. We don't need the clouds of bigotry to cover the sun within. Let's take off our blinders and see the beauty in all life. Which one is better, a Christian or a Jew? None. In the eyes of God, we are the same. In the midst of wars, which side is God taking? None. In the eyes of God, we are the same. Who is superior, the Americans or the Chinese? None. In the eyes of God, we are the same. How about who is better, a saint or the sinner? None. In the eyes of God, we are the same. The ray of humbleness, not proud or arrogant, modest, to be humbled although successful. Synonyms: unpretending, unpretentious, submissive, meek, unassuming. Marked by meekness or modesty in behavior, attitude or spirit, not arrogant or prideful. Imagine that in front of you are two great athletes talking to you. Both of these are great on the field, yet off the field, there are two different kinds of being. One is loud and boisterous and extremely full of ego. The other one is humble and lets his playing abilities be shown on the field. He is comfortable within himself and has nothing to prove. Who would you like to be around? Would you like to spend time with a loud and boisterous one, or the one that is humble off the field, yet highly useful on the field? I imagine most of you would like to be with a successful, yet humble person. Humility truly is a gift of life. It's strange, but in our culture, we looked at icons, one who are boisterous and full of ego. Our culture is obsessed by rock stars, sporting stars, and movie stars. As a nation, we love the glitz and the glamour. We love to talk about the latest gossip about our stars. Yet deep down inside, we love the humble ones who are famous and don't make a big issue out of it. They know that life is precious and they are humbled by it. In the last 20 years, our culture has really seen what happens to people who only think about themselves or their country and the mess it is on the rest of the world. Our nation needs to become humble again. Our politicians need to become humble again. Each one of us has to become humble. Life is extremely humble. Imagine the life force creating the entire universe. Is not egocentric and says pay attention only to me. It is a humble force, and yet it sustains the entire universe. This is our true nature. We are humble. As a child, we are all humble. As we grow up, we develop ways to become more aggressive in life and develop a shell around us. We don't want the world to see our sufferings, so we hid from ourselves and others. We put on a shield that I'm better than you are. We put so much importance on building the shell and protecting it that we have lost touch of who we truly are. Only at the time of death do we become humble. We see at that moment everything we have outside of ourselves will be taken away. We need to drop our shields and see that life is precious. We can let go of our hurts and sufferings that have encountered along the way. We can be vulnerable. Life itself is vulnerable. We truly can experience the beauty of the sunset and have tears of joy. Man has been taught to repress and inhibit his emotions. What a sad way to live. How much of life are we missing out? We are just skimming the surface in life. By being humble, we see the majestic in all life and rejoice in it and are humbled by it. We see that we're no better or worse than anybody else. Once again, we are all in the same boat of life. Meditation brings one to the place where one begins to see that the entire universe exists inside of our essence. We are mere dewdrops compared to the vast ocean of light. This state of existence brings us to a greater level of humbleness. We take from that state and bring back into our everyday a greater appreciation of being alive. We start to live more and more in ways that are compassionate, submissive, meek, and unassuming. This is our true nature. The ego we have developed is only a shell that we hide in. We are afraid of coming out and to express our true feelings. Only when we start letting go of our baggage, we'll begin to see that doesn't serve us any longer. The ego is to help us protect from the world, yet it shouldn't cover our true nature. It is a part of us. It is not our true self. This is what we need to discover. I truly believe that this world was humble and experienced our true nature. This world would totally change. We would truly have respect for one another, and each one of us would know that this life is an incredible journey, and we are so fortunate to be alive. A truly humble person sees the diversity of all life at the same time the essence of life. One understands that life is ever going and constantly changing and morphing, yet the essence is the sign, is the same. It's a divine paradox. A truly humble person is awed by this. Its very own character is awed by life, and so consequently has nothing to prove but smile. This state of existence is our true nature, but we have lost contact of ourselves. By being humble, it will start open the doors within. Arrogance simply closes the door to life. You may own the world, yet arrogance closes the door within. Humility starts to open the doors of perception within. Only a humble person can see God. That's why it says in the Bible, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man going to heaven. Unfortunately, at times, our world awards arrogance, while the humble person truly knows and values the mystery of life. The humble person has nothing to hold on to with excess baggage. This is the true riches. These secrets are life itself. The ray of honesty, dictionary.com. The quality or facts of being honest, uprightness and fairness, truthfulness, sincerity or frankness, freedom from deceit or fraud. Life is a series of lessons. We can put the ray of honesty into our daily life. Everyone loves a person who is sincere and honest. We don't like to be lied to or have someone spin the truth. This is one reason why the nation as a whole doesn't like politics. Today we have spin doctors who manipulate the truth to present it to the general public. This, over time, generates a lot of deceit, and people's opinions of politicians go downhill. We have a strong desire to be told the truth, even if it will cause concern. People can see through a person who isn't quite honest. There's something not quite right about the situation. We can take a look at many aspects of our life and ask ourselves, are we being honest with ourselves and others? At times we aren't even honest with ourselves. We have a tendency to hide dirt underneath the carpet, hoping someday we will come back and clean it some day. Yet life goes on, and we wonder why at times we are dissatisfied with life. One who goes through the transformation of these laws will begin to take a closer look at all aspects of our life and begin to see that changes can occur. We are honest on what's working and honest on areas where we need to clean up after ourselves. This is where the grown-up truly becomes a grown-up. We take responsibility for our actions and are honest to ourselves and others in our lives. By being honest, it frees us. The small lies and big lies that we tell or don't tell bind us down with chains. Over time, we are dragging a lot of dead weight on ourselves. We struggle during the day and don't quite have the burst of energy we will once had. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to maintain emotional health, and the more negative we are, the less energy we'll have. So it's wise to take an inventory and where we stand with ourselves and others. The more honest we are with ourselves, the more honest we will be with others. True honesty begins within. By meditating and contemplating and looking at all areas of your life, you will see over time areas that you were not quite honest with. Take a look at these areas and write them down. Pay attention to them. Work and play with them. The more you focus on it, the less intense they will be. The more a person grows into meditation and pays attention to key areas to improve honesty, the faster one will grow. Growth comes through attention and conviction. Growth never comes putting things on and sweeping things underneath the carpet. Meditation will bring a person to a state where you are free from deceit or fraud. Yet this takes constant work and monitoring. Everyone can see over time someone who's deceitful. This is the trait that we truly want to drop. Meditation and contemplation are like looking at glasses or a microscope where we can dissolve parts of ourselves that hinder us and others. This is exciting to know that we all have the tools inside to mold and to change and to totally transform. The first step in transformation is honesty. Once we are honest, we can begin to take the necessary steps to change. Even if one's honest and knows that he or she is a compulsive liar, this person can over time learn to change his negative qualities and overcome them. Honesty is the first step to take. It's the first step for a drug user or person who drinks too much. By acknowledging that you have a problem and honest about it, you are along your way to heal yourself. Each and every one of us has had afflictions that we need to clean up in our lives. These are exciting times for the world. The world as a whole is starting to wake up from its slumber. People beginning to be honest and call a spade a spade. They're beginning to require that in all areas of life that people be honest with each other. As more and more people get in touch with them, the more of awareness will be in this world. We don't have to feel guilty about the stuff that we put underneath the carpet. We just need to recognize we put it there and that we simply need to clean our house. Most families clean and vacuum their house every week. Well, so do we. So what I'm trying to say is that by being honest, a huge load and burden will be lifted off your shoulders. You will sigh with relief. As you start to do so, you begin to translate this experience into your everyday conversation with others. Life will be easier and fun. Over time, you will see that honesty is our true nature. We have lived so long in the fog, we have forgotten our true nature.